Hi, everyone. So, this week we're playing with some technology and graphics, and I'm going to answer a question that I was recently asked following a panel. The question was essentially, how do we scale our writing team? They're working with one writer who's not a dedicated writer, they actually have a different day job. And they're looking at bidding on more opportunities, and their team needs to grow, but they don't necessarily have the resources in place to hire dedicated proposal writers. So, what do you do? There are a few things that I do that help that I'm going to walk through and can use this handy graphic to help as well. So, first thing is develop a library. So, I'm sure there are some standard approaches you have for project management, hiring, right? Transitions. So, all of that should be documented and sanitized. By that, I mean no previous customer names, no individual like our program manager, Jill, that nope, no names. Everything's completely sanitized, which helps avoid those copy paste errors that come from using boilerplate and kind of gives boilerplate a bad name. So it's sanitized, it's all of your standard approaches, and it's there for use to tailor to specific customers and tailor to specific opportunities. The next thing you want to do is train. So, anybody who's interested in supporting proposals should be trained. You don't want to force people to be trained in proposals if they're not interested. They're just not going to be as successful as someone who's actively excited to work on opportunities, who wants to be a part of opportunities. They're going to do a lot better in the long run. So train them. I like to start by having people do compliance checks. So reviewing the compliance matrix against the content that's been written. How do we stack up? That's the easiest way to understand the very basics of proposal development. So, compliance reviewers, start them out there. Then they might move on to reviewing resumes or drafting resumes and past performance sections, right? Those tend to be much smaller, but very targeted to the specific customer, to specific requirements. Then they might move on to sections of your technical approach or your management approach. Small sections. Using content from your existing library is going to help them a lot as well. And they get more and more comfortable the more and more they work on proposals. You might also use content generators. AI exists, we can't hide from it. It can be very, very helpful, especially if you don't have a standard library already, you don't have standardized content. Use Gen I to help develop it. And then you can tailor it to your specific company, add in the things that are actually important to your team. And then for each opportunity, you take that content and you further tailor it to the customer, to the opportunity. Another approach is to hire consultants. So you might not be able to hire a full time proposal writer, but for strategic opportunities, perhaps you hire proposal writing consultants. And then the content that they create can be sanitized and go back into your library so that you're not just hiring for that one particular opportunity, but the content that they generate can help on future opportunities as well. So you're really digging into that investment. And then you want to continually curate your library. So whether it's every quarter, every 6 months, or once a year, you go back and you look at, does this content still align to the future opportunities that we're going to be bidding on, our priorities, right? Those things can change from year to year or even every couple of years. So you want to make sure the content in your library still aligns to your overall corporate strategy and approaches moving forward. And you rinse and repeat. You basically do those things over and over again. And eventually you will have a scalable solution where you don't necessarily have to hire dedicated, right? Sorry, you don't have to hire dedicated writers immediately, but you're building up an infrastructure. And whenever you are able to hire those writers, they'll have a lot to work with already in place.